today I'm sharing my journey of how I became a full-time blogger, plus some really exciting news for our family. As of this year, I am making triple what I made when I worked a full-time 40-hour-a-week job. And usually I don't even work 40 hours in a week. So I really want to share this journey with all of you who might be interested in doing something very similar. Let's go back to when this all started. I graduated high school in 2002. And I went to college for 4 years, and then I got a job that I really didn't like. It was just an office job, data entry, super boring, and I wanted to do something different. So I put out this email to everyone we knew, all my family, friends, and people they knew. And one of our friends who lives in New Zealand reached out to say they were looking for a full-time live-in nanny. And I jumped at the chance to do that because I thought, if it doesn't work out, that's fine. I can always come home, but why not try something different? And where I'm going with this story is during that journey, I decided to start a blog. This was in 2008, and I started a free blogger blog, one that anyone could start at that time. I'm not sure if it still exists now, but I started blogging daily what I was getting up to living in New Zealand as a nanny. And it was really a personal blog for just family and friends who wanted to follow along with what I was doing. But I did notice that I would sometimes get people that were not family or friends, people I did not even know, would read my blog and sometimes comment, or they would share different things. And so I started to look into blogging way back then. I wish I knew then what I know now, because I would be so much further ahead, but that's okay because everything happens with time. But that whole year that I lived in New Zealand, I blogged almost every single day what I got up to, and that kept my family and friends informed of what was going on. I made absolutely no money with that blog, and it was just a hobby and something fun to do. But I did realize that there were people, even back then, making money with their blogs. There was a whole community. I mostly followed women who would blog about their lives and what they got up to, and they were making money at that. So that's how my blogging journey started. Fast forward a few years, I met my husband in New Zealand. We decided to move back to California, where we currently are now, and get married, and that was in 2011. I still had my blog going just for fun, and I decided to get a job when we moved back here. It was working in an office that I actually really liked, but it was 40 hours a week, and I still wanted to find a way to work from home and to have my own business going on. So when we had our first son in 2014, I decided to be a full-time stay-at-home mom, but I did still want to make money from home somehow. And I started doing all kinds of research on how to make money. And I always looked, I'm an artist, I always looked at how to sell art and sell things on Etsy. So I did start a few different things that really were not successful. I started selling some of my art, but I just never really, I don't think I did it long enough to make it successful, because I realize now you have to stick with something for quite a long time before you can see the benefits and start making money at it. So had I stuck with that, maybe it would have worked, but I tried selling art online, and I also had this moment in time where I was making bracelets and trying to sell that. In 2016, I had my second son, and then in 2017, I came across decluttering and organizing my own home, and I decided to start sharing that in videos online on YouTube. And I was not thinking that I would really make any money at that. I just thought it would be a fun way, again, to share things like I was already sharing on my blog. I thought, hey, let me start sharing in video format, because I think that is just such a fun way to be creative. And again, I had no idea at the time that that would make any money. I had heard people say that they made money with YouTube. I did not understand that. I did not understand how people made money blogging either. But fast forward to the end of 2017, I decided I wanted to change my blog and actually get my own hosting and make my own blog myself. So I started all new with a fresh blog. In 2018, when I was searching for how to be successful with blogging, I found the blogging course, Create Your Blog Dream by Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone. And I'm going to link that course down below because I decided to invest in myself, and it was a few $100s, and I thought I'm going to learn how to do this the correct way. She had this video about how she had done everything the hard way, and so she made this course for people like me who were looking for this information. And oh my goodness, I was so surprised when I took her course that it just fast forwarded everything that I needed to know. And that's why I want to mention her course in this journey to my blog dream, because at the time I thought, oh, this will probably never happen for me, but at least I have this inspiration from someone who has actually is where I want to be. And if you're interested in this course, she is having a sale right now going until the November 28th. I think I'll have details in the description box. And I'm mentioning this because I am so happy I invested in myself by taking her course. It streamlined everything I was trying to learn, and I didn't have to spend hours online going from website to website to try to learn this information. It was all in one course that made perfect sense, and it went in the correct order. And I will never ever think twice about investing in myself again, because that one fee that I paid to take that course has changed the whole direction of our lives at this point. And of course, besides investing in the course itself, I had to invest time into what I was learning. So every morning I woke up at 5 a.m. so I could take this course for an hour before I had to get my kids ready for the morning and the day. And then every evening after my kids went to bed, I then again sat on my computer and I would just take this course. I would do everything she said in the course, and I was seeing the benefits right away. And at the same time, I was learning how to do YouTube, because blogging and YouTube and being a content creator all go together, and it just helps to grow your business even more. So I was learning all of that, and I would work mornings and nights after my kids were sleeping, and I would just invest in myself. And I have to say, at the time, my husband definitely did not understand what I was doing. He is not someone who likes to be online very often. He doesn't really go on computers. He has his phone and he'll watch things on YouTube, on TV, but he did not understand how any of this works and that you can make money at it. He thought I was crazy. So he did not fully understand, even though I tried explaining it to him. He did not understand until I started making money at this. So in 2018, I took her course. It took maybe a month to go through the whole course, implement everything I was learning, and then start blogging in a way that would actually get people to my blog. And I wish I had taken a course on YouTube back then. I did not know that was a thing, and so I thought I knew everything I needed to know. But since then, I've taken a course on YouTube, and wow, that has changed the way I do everything as well. So for the first year, from taking the course in 2018 to 2019, I blogged constantly during that time, learning as I went. I also made my YouTube videos, learning as I created, and finally in 2019 I qualified for ads. So it took 1 year of making no money, only working, before I qualified to start making money with ads on my blog and with ads on YouTube. And of course, when you first start to get ads and you're first starting out, you don't make a ton of money. So again, I was just excited to make anything, and I knew that if I stuck with it, this would be a possibility to keep going. And I want to mention that once I started making money, my husband started to realize that this could be something where it does have a purpose, and he could see the business part of it at that point. So he did start to come around to the idea that that was good to invest all that time in. The second year, I made almost what I made at my full-time job. The third year, I made a little bit over what I made at my full-time job. Then by the 4th year, I doubled what I made at my full-time job. And now this last year, I've tripled what I made at my full-time job. So I'm not gonna go into numbers because of course it doesn't really matter. It's all relative to where you live and what you did for a living and all of that. But I just have to say that this is now a full-time income for our family. And the exciting news is that my husband is going to quit his job at the end of this year so he can come home and also be a full-time content creator. And that was my goal the whole entire time because my husband is a finished carpenter, and I thought how wonderful would it be for him to be able to work here from home, creating whatever it is he wants to create with his woodworking skills, and we can document that in his own blog, which we already have up and running, and on his YouTube channel. We are currently in the stages of turning our garage into his workshop, and we're all just very excited about this. Some of you might have the question of why wouldn't my husband Grant just continue to do his full-time job and me do this job and have 2 full incomes, but that is what we have been doing for the last year, and I have been very adamant about saving most of one of our incomes, and so I feel very confident that we can take this leap of faith and see where this will go with him being a full-time content creator as well. And also, I feel if you don't try the change, then who knows what you would have missed out on. With us both being home, this will also free up some extra time that he had spent driving over 2 hours to work every single day. So this will free up that time where hopefully we can get more done here at our house. We have a ton of projects we want to work on, and he's excited to start living his dream, which is to make furniture and do a lot of woodworking projects, and I'm very excited to see where that is going to go. So now, why would I share all of this with you? Well, it's in the hopes that it will encourage you if you are also looking to start your own business through a creative outlet, content creation, or maybe being an artist. And I also want to mention, being a blogger does not mean that you have to talk about your life. You can talk about anything when it comes to a blog. There are so many successful niche bloggers out there that talk about things like barbecues, home paint colors, DIY projects, redoing their home, and yards and plants. There are so many different things you could blog about. Literally anything you could think of, you could probably do a blog on it and make money at that. And I just want to mention that because I do think that so many people think you have to, you know, talk about your own life, talk about your kids, talk about things that you're doing in your life. And you don't have to do that. You can literally blog about anything. You can even have a YouTube channel about anything where you don't even show your face. There are tons of YouTube channels out there where you don't show your face and you don't talk about anything to do with your life. So I just want to mention that because this is really something that anyone could do if they want to put in the time and energy. I'm going to link Lisa's course down below in case you're interested in learning about blogging and streamlining that process. I also will link anything that I use for my blog and my camera equipment and all that sort of thing. And to mention too that you don't have to start with a lot of money. I barely spent any money when I started this process. I had an old camera that I use. I didn't even have a tripod, nothing. So you can start with anything that you have, and most of us have a phone. You can start with that, and you can start with a computer. Those are the 2 things that you really need to have, is just something that can take photos and a computer to do the blogging on. But other than that, you really don't have to invest much to get this job started. But I will link everything down below that I'm using now, just in case you're interested. I know I'm always interested to see what people use to make their blogs go and their equipment. So I will put all of that in the description box, and I will also link the email list if you want to join my email list about blogging and starting your own content creation business. I will have a link down below so you can join that email list if you're interested. We are so excited to start on this full-time content creation journey in the new year, and you can expect all the normal videos that I make on here about decluttering, simple living, and our DIY home projects. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!